Welcome. Let me ask you something. What if the money in your bank account, the money you worked for, wasn't actually yours to begin with? This isn't science fiction we're talking about today. We're going to break down a technical system that's being built as we speak. And more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate it. Now, that isn't just some wild prediction. That is a direct quote from the architects of our financial future. The entire concept of you owning your money is being deliberately phased out. It's being replaced with a new model, one where your money is conditional, where it's constantly being watched, and where it can be switched off at any second. So here's our game plan. First, we'll unpack what this new system really looks like. Then we're going to dive into some chillingly realistic examples of how it's designed to work in the real world. And finally, and this is the most important part, we'll lay out a clear technical roadmap for you to secure your financial sovereignty. We start with the problem, but we end with the solution. Look, 2026 is the year to watch. This change, it's not like getting a new smartphone. This is a fundamental rewrite of the very rules of money itself, where all the power shifts away from you and goes straight back to the source. And it all starts here, the removal of physical cash. You see, every time you hear that cash is dirty or inefficient or outdated, what you're really hearing is that it's autonomous. Eliminating physical bills and coins removes the very last way for people to transact anonymously and without asking for permission. It forces every single penny of every single transaction onto a digital network that can be monitored. It is the essential first step for this entire control system. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. With cash, you're the boss. You hold it, you own it, you spend it. No one's approval is needed. But with what's coming, a central bank digital currency, you're no longer an owner. You're just a user. Every transaction becomes a request that has to be approved by the system. You don't actually own anything. You just have conditional access to a number in a central database. Okay, so how is this new control system actually being put together? Well, it's not just one piece of technology. It's actually a combination of three key tools that are designed to work together perfectly to create a total financial surveillance and control grid. So what exactly is a CBDC? Please don't think of it like the money in your bank account today. That's not what this is. Think of it more like a direct line of credit from the central bank, from the government itself. Your entire net worth is just a single line item in their database, an entry that they can edit, that they can freeze, or that they can even delete with a single keystroke. It's not your digital wallet, it's their digital ledger with your name on it. And this is where the control gets personal, really personal, programmable money. Imagine getting your salary, but it comes with an expiration date. If you don't spend it by the end of the month, poof, it's gone. Or imagine trying to buy something as simple as a steak, but your money is programmed to say no because you've exceeded some carbon limit for the week. This isn't really money anymore, is it? It's a system of rewards and punishments designed to control your behavior. And this right here, this is the AI brain that ties it all together. Every single time you spend money, an algorithm analyzes it in less than the blink of an eye. And it's not just seeing that you bought something, it's analyzing what you bought, who you bought it from, and where you bought it. It tags every purchase, unhealthy, non-essential, maybe even politically dissident. And all of that data is used to constantly update your social or risk score, which then tells your programmable money what it's allowed to buy next. Okay, so that's the tech, that's the theory. But what does this actually feel like for a normal person on a normal day? Let's make this real. These aren't just guesses. These are the logical outcomes of the technology we've just laid out. I want you to picture this. It's a Tuesday afternoon. You're at the grocery store, you have a full cart. You get to the checkout, you've done this 1,000 times before. You tap your phone to pay and you wait for that little beep of approval. But this time, silence. Instead, a cold, red message flashes on the screen. Payment declined. Your phone buzzes. It's an alert from your wallet. It says your social score was recently lowered because of some online posts an algorithm flagged as unconstructive. And because of that, the steak and the bottle of wine in your cart have been deemed unhealthy, non-essential purchases. It's not that you don't have the money. The system has simply decided you are not allowed to buy those things today. You can feel the people in line behind you staring. It's a moment of total public humiliation, complete powerlessness. Now, let's think about someone else. A retiree. Someone who worked their entire life, played by the rules, saved their money. In a world with no physical cash, there's no way for them to pull their money out. There's no mattress to stuff it under. Their entire life savings are trapped inside this digital system. They are quite literally a captive audience. And here's the trap. When you can't withdraw your money, the system can change the rules on you overnight. To stimulate the economy, they'll say, they can introduce negative interest rates. Of course, they won't call it that. They'll give it a friendly name, like a liquidity fee or a storage charge. But the result is the same. Every single day, that retiree watches their life savings just vanish, a little bit at a time. This isn't inflation. This is a programmed, systematic theft of their life's work. All of these scenarios, all of this technology, it all boils down to one single fundamental question. This isn't really about finance or tech. It's about what it means to be a free individual. You hear this all the time, right? I've got nothing to hide, so why should I care if they watch? But that completely misses the point. This was never about hiding illegal activity. It's about the right to have a private life, free from the constant, cold judgment of a machine. It's about the freedom to make your own choices, even choices the system might see as bad, without needing permission from an algorithm. Because what's considered normal today could easily be flagged as unacceptable tomorrow. So, now that we've seen the architecture of the digital prison, it's time to talk about the escape plan. And I have good news. A viable, technical path to true financial sovereignty doesn't just exist, it's becoming stronger and more accessible every single day. This is the autonomous alternative. And this table says it all. This is the fundamental difference. In the traditional system, your money isn't really yours. It's an IOU from a bank. It's a promise. Someone else controls it, the government tracks it, and you need their permission to use it. With an autonomous wallet, you become the bank. You and you alone hold the keys. You have direct final ownership. Your access cannot be censored. Let's go back to our case files for one last positive example. An investor saw the writing on the wall back in 2025. She started to carefully, methodically move her assets into her own self-custody. She diversified into assets that exist on independent, decentralized networks. So when 2026 arrived with all of its restrictions, its programmable rules, its negative interest rates, she was fine. She was completely unaffected. Her assets were outside the system, beyond its reach, and beyond its rules. She maintained 100% financial freedom. So, what can you actually do about all this? This isn't some problem for the distant future. The time to prepare is right now. Here is a clear, technical roadmap to begin securing your own financial independence. Now, this process has to be done with care. First, do your research. Choose a well-known, open-source, non-custodial wallet. Second, and listen carefully, this is the most important part. When you set up that wallet, it will give you a seed phrase, usually 12 or 24 words. This is the absolute master key to your funds. You must write it down on paper. Never, ever store it digitally on your computer or phone. Secure it somewhere safe, offline. Third, before you move any serious amount of money, send a tiny test transaction. Practice recovering your wallet with your seed phrase so you know exactly how it works. And finally, you can begin to gradually move your assets into your own custody. Taking self-custody is the critical first step, but protecting your assets is an ongoing strategy. Diversify into assets that can't be controlled by a central point of failure, things like Bitcoin or even physical precious metals. Start looking into privacy-enhancing technologies that can help you break the chain of surveillance. Be aware of the regulations where you live, and above all, stay educated, stay informed. I need to be crystal clear about this. The financial choices you make over the next 1 to 2 years will very likely define the level of personal freedom you have for the rest of your life. This isn't about getting rich. This is about preserving your basic right to choose, to transact freely, and to truly own the fruits of your labor. The system is being built. The walls are going up all around us. The path to freedom is going to require knowledge, it's going to require courage, and it's going to require action starting now. So the question isn't what the system is going to do next. The only question that matters is, what are you going to do? Are you ready?